Hi, welcome to our next junior algebra video. We are into our second video of expanding quadratics. Right, if you remember so far that quadratics can appear in this form, which has got two brackets, and we call it factored form. It's factored into two factors. In the last video, we started to introduce the idea of how we can expand it out and turn it into expanded form. We're going to continue this idea with a few harder questions. All right, let's get into example 1. Let's expand this quadratic. In the first bracket we have x minus 5 and in the second bracket we have x plus 3. Now just remember, I spoke last time, when you see two brackets side by side it has been multiplied. So this represents a number x subtract 5 being multiplied by the number x plus 3. Right, let's get into it. We're going to do our what I like to call rainbows again. And remember, every time we do a rainbow, we must multiply. So the first rainbow is x multiplied by x. X times x is written as x squared. Right, our second rainbow is x multiplied by 3. It's a positive 3, so we get to write down plus 3x. Right, our third rainbow is x multiplied by 5, or 5 multiplied by x. But notice it's a negative 5. It's a subtract 5, but we're going to treat it as a negative 5. So a positive times a negative makes a negative. So we have to write down negative 5x or subtract 5x. And finally, we're going to multiply the 5 times the 3. But notice the 5 is negative and the 3 is positive. So we have to go negative times positive makes negative. So we have to write down minus 15. Right, do you remember that there are 4 rainbows, I suppose, 4 multiplication steps you have to do to expand quadratics? Quad means 4, to help you remember. Okay, right, now we have to simplify it, and it is only these terms. X squared doesn't add with anything here because it's the only term with the power of 2. It's these two terms in here that can simplify. They're both like terms, so we have plus 3x subtract 5x. So we've got to think about our integers. Positive 3 take away 5, or just 3 take away 5, gives us negative 2. So we're going to write down minus 2x, and then we're going to write down our minus 15. All right, let's get into example 2. Let's expand this one. The first bracket is x minus 1, and it's been multiplied by the second bracket, which is x minus 5. Notice they're both negative, or subtracts in this one. So let's get started. Our first rainbow, x multiplied by x is x squared. Our second rainbow is x multiplied by 5, which is 5x, but because it's a minus or a subtract 5, we're going to write down minus 5x. Our third rainbow is x times 1, but it's a minus 1, so we're going to write down minus 1x. And our last rainbow is 1 times 5. Don't you go 1 plus 5. 1 times 5, which is 5, but they're both negative, or they're both minuses. And a negative times a negative makes a positive. So we're going to write down plus 5. 1 times 5 is 5, but they're both negative, which makes it a positive. Right, now let's simplify. X squared is the only term with x squared. Now be careful with the next bit here. We have minus 5x's minus another 1x. So minus 5 take away 1. It makes minus 6x's. And then we have our plus 5. Right, see if you can go away and start practicing. The negatives are going to be a little difficult to get your head around if you're not the most confident with your positives and your negatives. Right, thanks for watching.